It was a freezing Friday night in December, and my best friend Jake and I were driving back from a party in the next town over. The roads were dead, barely a car in sight, and all we could hear was the hum of my old Honda and the occasional blast of cold wind against the windows. Jake was half asleep in the passenger seat, mumbling about how I should have stayed the night instead of making the long drive home. Maybe he was right. Maybe I should have listened to my gut, because that night we saw something or someone that still haunts me to this day. I kept my hands tight on the wheel, eyes locked on the empty stretch of road ahead. We were deep in the countryside, surrounded by nothing but woods on both sides. The streetlights had been getting fewer and farther between, and for the past 20 minutes, we hadn't seen a single car. That's when I saw him. A man, standing completely still on the side of the road. His clothes were dark, tattered, almost blending into the night. He didn't look like he was hitchhiking. He wasn't even waving for help. He was just standing there. As we sped past, my headlights caught his face for a split second, or at least what should have been his face. But it was blank. I don't mean like he had an expressionless look. I mean, there was nothing there. No eyes, no mouth, just smooth, pale skin. My chest tightened. I gripped the wheel tighter. "Did you see that?" I asked Jake, my voice barely above a whisper. Jake stirred, rubbing his eyes. "See what?" I glanced in the rearview mirror, but the man was gone. Not walking away, not fading into the distance. Just gone. I swallowed hard. Maybe I was just tired. Maybe it was a trick of the light. I kept driving. 10 minutes later, the road started winding through a dense patch of trees. My GPS had lost service a while ago, but I was sure we were on the right track. That's when Jake suddenly gasped, sitting up straight. "Dude, stop the car," he shouted. My heart leaped into my throat. What? What? There's someone standing in the road. I slammed on the brakes, my tires screeching against the pavement. My breath caught in my chest as I looked ahead. It was the same man, same clothes, same eerie stillness. But now, he was standing right in the middle of the road, facing us. I locked the doors instinctively. My pulse pounded in my ears. How the hell did he get here before us? Jake whispered. I had no answer. The man didn't move, didn't flinch, just stood there, his featureless face pointed directly at us. Every nerve in my body was telling me to drive, just swerve around him and floor it. But something in the back of my mind was screaming that if I did, something horrible would happen. Jake reached for his phone. "I'm calling the cops." No service. His hands started shaking. "What do we do?" Before I could answer, the man took a step forward. Then another, and another. The moment his foot hit the pavement just inches from my bumper, I snapped out of my trance and threw the car into reverse. The tires screeched as we sped backward down the road. Jake was breathing hard, gripping the dashboard. "Go, go." I spun the wheel, turning us onto a dirt path that led back into the woods. The road was bumpy, barely wide enough for my car, but I didn't care. I just needed to get away. For a few seconds, I thought we had lost him. But then Jake let out a sound I'd never heard from him before. A sound of pure terror. "He's still there," he choked out. I risked a glance in the mirror. The man was running. Full speed. Faster than any human should be able to run. And he was gaining on us. My foot slammed the gas pedal to the floor. Branches scraped against the sides of my car as we tore through the woods. My headlights flickered. And then, just like that, he was gone. I didn't stop driving until we hit the highway. We made it home that night, but we never spoke about what happened. Not really. Not in detail. A few weeks later, curiosity got the better of me. I looked up missing person reports in that area, and that's when I found it. A story about a man who had vanished years ago, last seen walking along that very road. The weirdest part? The article included a picture of him, and it was the exact same man we had seen that night. Only this time, in the photo, he had a face. I don't know what we saw that night. A ghost? A warning? Or something much, much worse. But if you ever find yourself driving down a deserted road late at night, and you see a man standing completely still on the side, whatever you do, don't stop. And don't look back.